My Olympus Miju unfortunately broke, so I had to get a new point and shoot and thought, what better than the Carl Zeiss infused Yashica T2. This guy is the perfect companion for all of my film adventures. This camera is using a Carl Zeiss lens, so high resolution, so sharp. And if you don't know anything about Carl Zeiss, he was basically a lens manufacturer, and he creates lenses today for Sony, but they also create some of the top of the line cinema glass that's used in all the Hollywood movies that you know. That's one of the reasons why I completely love the Zeiss glass, and using it, it is extremely sharp, extremely contrasty. And let's take a look of two pictures. So one of these is going to be the Miju, and the other is going to be the Carl Zeiss. And if we zoom in, we can see that the Carl Zeiss still holds up a lot of detail, even if we zoom in like 200%. Thing I totally love about this camera is that, check out this little button right here. This little button right here, when I load the film, I just put it in and then close the hatch, press this button, and boom, it's loaded in like 2 seconds. So I love that. My Olympus had a little bit of problems with it loading, so that was kind of annoying, but this completely solves that. You know, the reason why I'm comparing this so much to the Olympus is because it's got the same aperture 35mm lens, like a lot of point and shoots do. And this thing also has a flash that you can kind of turn off like this. So it's really a very comparable camera. Now, if we're talking about colors of this lens versus the Miju, I think they're very similar. This doesn't have exactly the Zeiss look that a lot of my other Zeiss lenses have, for example, the Contax Zeiss. I have those, and they have a very distinct, warm, punchy look. And this is similar, but I don't think it's exactly the same. I would compare this more to the Olympus than I would the Zeiss. However, it is extremely sharp, extremely contrasty, so keep that in mind. Now, the 3.5 aperture lens is not the brightest in the world. However, this is still okay for night photography, I've found. The Olympus 2 that I'm comparing this camera to is also very good at night photography. You know, you have a flash if you want to use that more creatively. I like using a flash to capture motion. 3.5 is plenty bright for some nighttime photography. I can show you some examples here. Now, to use this camera, it's pretty simple. All we have to do is switch on this little button right here. And once we do that, we can start firing. Now, another thing is it's got two flash modes, daylight flash and no flash. I haven't experimented with the daylight flash yet, so I can't say. However, the normal flash is quite strong, maybe a tad stronger than the Miju's, but it creates a very even amount of light, so I do like that. However, turning the flash off is a little bit difficult. You can't just press a button and have it completely disabled. This one, you have to hold it down every time you take a picture. This can be pretty annoying, and if you mispress it a little bit, the flash will still go off. So that's a little bit of an issue. Other issues I've ran into are problems with it focusing and problems with it firing on time. Yeah, and that's about it for this review. You can thrift this thing pretty easily because it's kind of ugly. Well, I think it looks cool. It's got this little retro look going on, and that really fits in with my vibe doing retro photography and film photography. So if you're into that kind of thing, maybe this is for you. But it's overall a great point and shoot camera, something that you can hold up to your SLRs and be like, okay, this is a really good picture. So perfect for daylight photography. I will experiment with some night photography with this and show you what it looks like. You know, if you're used to shooting SLRs or looking into getting into film photography, I would definitely check out this camera as well as the Olympus Miju. I have a video about that. These are two similar cameras, and yeah, buy some film, you know, help out film, and I hope you consider getting this Yashica T2. Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be breaking down my full review of the Yashica T2 point and shoot film camera.